You guys, s'mores muffins, you are not going to want to miss this today. Here's a quick look at everything you will need to get started. I'll put a list of the ingredients and the amounts down in the captions though. I know what you're thinking. S'mores in a muffin? How can it be? But it is possible, and I'm going to show you how. So all of these lovely ingredients come together. If you were in my class, a former student, please comment below and tell if you like this muffin or not. Okay, it's really special. It goes beyond chocolate chip. So to start off, you're going to have to crush some graham crackers. We need about a half cup crushed. Now, I'm not sure how much this makes. I could figure out a half cup, but then when I crush it, it's going to look different. So I'm going to make sure to crush the graham crackers and then measure them. This recipe 100% focuses on good measuring. Make sure you do it right. You can totally convert this to a veganized version. There's lots of vegan versions of the ingredients that I use. I like Earth's Balance for vegan butter. There's some tofuty sour cream. Really easy to find. You can find Lily's chocolate chips or some other kind of chocolate chips. And you can use a flax egg, and I like to use oat milk no matter what anyway. So I'm going to start out by crushing these, and you can use the back end or just use your muscle. Crush, 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 crush. You can take them out of the package and do it in the bowl with the back of a measuring cup. Just crush, 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 crush. Either way will work, okay? So here's my graham crackers. Here's my half cup that I need. And if I notice that any of the crumbs are just too big, I just crush them a little bit more. This is a recipe that's good to remember for finals. I'll tell you why. Using something other than flour for the grain dry ingredient purpose is the thing that can help you in the final. So instead of flour, I'm going to use some graham crackers crushed up. Maybe in one of our chopped cooking events, you use pretzels or some other kind of dry ingredient, right, in place of flour. So that's really why I love teaching this recipe, because you can do a lot of substitutions. And you can see these are crumbled. Some big chunks are still left. It'll be delicious. Okay, so we're going to start out with the butter. And I don't know if you noticed, but if you buy stick butter, there are numbers on the side. It's really nice and easy to use that. So I cut a piece off that I need. It's soft at room temperature. That's how I like everything to be before I start baking for this recipe. So I let everything sit out on the counter for about 45 minutes. So I have some white sugar, the butter, and now I'm going to add the brown sugar. And the deal with brown sugar is that we measure it packed. So that means I'm going to smash it in. So normally with flour or sugar, we scoop and level it off, keeping it really light and fluffy, right? Not with brown sugar. With brown sugar, I'm going to scoop it up and I smash it. And look, there's a little bit more room until it gets level. So I need to be accurate. So I'm going to go back in and smash it until I can see that it's all filled up and level. And then when it comes out, it holds its shape. That's how I know it's well packed, okay? So this is the butter and sugar. It's got to come together and look uniform, right? So I'm going to use a fork today. Today I'm going to take it back old school, keep it really simple, and just try to use the simplest utensils and appliances I can so that everybody at home can imitate this, no matter what you have. And if you do have an electric mixer, this would be a good place to use it. But I just make those three things come together, okay? Next step is I'm going to stir in the egg, crack an egg. Okay, hands clean after you touch the eggshell, all right? So I have egg, butters, sugars, next goes the sour cream, and then some milk. So I know what you're thinking. Sour cream in a dessert, it adds a lot of richness, and to be honest, anything sour really sets off the sweetness in the dessert, okay? So I'm measuring so it's flat, and then I love using this rubber spatula that's very small. And get that in there. It scrapes the sides really well. And I need some milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you have at home. I find that they all work. Okay, and that helps clean out that measuring cup also when I do that. So this is my wet bowl. I'm going to have these things come together, and then I'm going to get a separate bowl and put all those dry ingredients together, and we'll put them together to make our muffins. I like a fork for this, but the rubber spatula really helps me scrape the edges. Make sure there's no chunks of brown sugar or sour cream. Now, if all of my ingredients were refrigerator cold, they would definitely not come together as well. Everything would just kind of seize up and stay separate. Some recipes you want cold ingredients, like biscuits. Not for this. Okay, and it just looks kind of like a gooey pancake batter right now. So that's my wet bowl. I'm going to set this aside now and get another bowl and make the dry bowl. Okay, this is my salt bowl. So here's my dry. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon level. So I just want it flat across. Right? So there's no over, no under. Kind of like the break-even point of measuring. Okay. Same thing here, and you can scrape it along the side of the container. That'll help you do that. And then I need some cinnamon. A lot of times with seasonings, you'll find 2 different openings. So you'll find one that sprinkles, but also one where you can pour or measure. And besides that, sometimes you just need to take the lid off, just like that, okay? So same thing, gonna scoop up. I also love to substitute pumpkin pie spice in this recipe for cinnamon. I like pumpkin pie mix. And then I need the flour. The flour is going to be 3/4 cup. So usually there's no 3/4 cup measuring cup in a nesting cup set. So I just use this 1/4 one 3 times. And it's going to be a scoop with a leveling off, right? So that it's flat, break-even point right here. I think we talked about this in another video, but if I shake, shake, shake to get it to be level, it's going to be packed in and dense, which will add more flour, which is something we don't want. Even more precise would be to use a scale to measure, right? And again, this one, I'm just going to make it come together with a fork. All right, here we go. So I have a clean, dry fork, and this is my dry bowl. And I just want everything to be combined well. Keep it light and fluffy. So we have dry bowl all combined, coming together with the wet bowl. It's not very much quantity, so it can all go in. And again, I'm just going to use that fork and spatula. Very small batch. This makes about 6 muffins. Nice, right? Okay. Scrape the edges. And one more word I'm going to share with you today is fold. So we're going to fold in the chocolate chips. We're going to add about 1/3 cup. A little bit more if you like it, right? And to fold means, well, you watch Schitt's Creek, right? To fold in the cheese. So you're going to basically take it from underneath and bring it on top in different directions. I noticed I only need to do it 3-4 times at the very most. And I always do it with blueberry muffins when things are more delicate. And you just don't really want to break up this mixture. You just want to get the chips in there throughout without doing too much. Chocolate chips. I'm going to add a little bit more. Just because they're good. Okay, and I'm going to show you the fold. You can see. Scoop from underneath. Scoop from underneath. Flip on top. Fold on top. Right, that's it. They're done. Alright, so I have this mixture, I have my marshmallow cream, and I'm going to get my cups set up. I'll show you the setup. It's phenomenal. Okay, ready. At this time, you're going to want to get your oven hot to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll definitely need some non-stick spray also. I don't know if you were in my class before, if you remember. Don't spray this over the floor. You have to really be at a sink or at your counter to spray this, because don't spray over the floor, non-stick spray. So this is keeps your portion control, but again, it's not necessary. I'll show you another way to do your scooping. And you're going to scoop so that all your muffin tins are halfway full. Remember, this makes 12 minis or 6 bigs. The minis, I think, bake for 13 minutes. The bigs for 16 at 400 degrees. I've made this a few times. So it's about half full. Nobody really loves muffin tops, so we're going to not fill these all the way up anyway. But again, I love the spray for keeping it from being hard to clean. So if you don't have one of those cookie scoops, 2 spoons is always an alternative. I'm going to spray my spoons so that the marshmallow fluff doesn't stick. And I just take a little bit. So I'm going to build a layer. The layer will be muffin mix, followed by some marshmallow fluff and a little more muffin mix on top. And the 2 spoons make it a little bit easier. This stuff is not the easiest to deal with in this way. I mean, could you imagine measuring this out? It would be very weird, right? So I'm going to cover them just like that. And let me show you the next step, and then I'll get them all done. A little bit more of the muffin mix on top. And my students always like to decorate the top with a little piece of graham cracker or something like that. So I'm going to get these all filled in and bake them, and I'll show you how it goes. Okay. Now, when you take these out, you cannot check for doneness with a toothpick, because if you put a toothpick in there, it'll come out all gooey with marshmallow. So you just need to know 13 minutes for a mini, and then 16 minutes for the bigs. And then let them sit for about 5 minutes before you eat them. This one's a hard one for my students. But the good thing is you won't burn your mouth if you do that. And they kind of finish cooking and setting up just like a chocolate chip cookie. Okay? Okay, so here it is. Just came out of the oven. You can see all the chocolate chips. They're good. The marshmallow just puffs up in little places. And I put a little decorative graham cracker on top. Oh, nice, hot, steamy, just fresh out of the oven. Very chocolate chippity. Hope you enjoy. This is the one to make, okay? It's going to teach you good measuring skills and make the house smell amazing and be delicious. All right, thanks for watching.